but I know awesome when I see it. Okay.7a-Escobedo is going to be talking on natural family planning. Before we start, I have a little personal story. My husband and I were military people, and the first two children happened because there's something in the water in California. Then he went to Vietnam, came back, and we had another baby and said, hey, they were 12.5 months apart. And I said, let's do that again. So we thought, okay, that works out fine, like have two pair. But he was flying at the time, and he was gone the wrong week out of 4 months in a row. So the next two were 16.5 months apart. Natural family planning works, even though that isn't what we were doing officially. Maria has been a natural family planning educator since 2004. She has, along with her husband Gonzalo, has been teaching couple-to-couple method of natural family planning. They're proud parents of 4 children and themselves practice natural family planning. Maria also runs her own business, Hair Bows for Life, as well as maintaining a blog site. She's often an advocate for mothers in desperate situations and utilizes her outreach to assist them. Maria and Gonzalo are homeschooling their children. Big job. Maria?
Good afternoon, and as well, Kathy Riddle, also couple procedure, will be also speaking with me. So. I forgot to tell. I get an honor here too to tell you about Kathy, because one of the fun things about doing this work is the little treats in there. And I got to read her resume, and oh, I looked down here and I knew that you had been active in couple-to-couple natural family planning and an educator there. And then I was told that she had extensive background with migrant workers here in the state in community health care. And that she and Andrew are homeschooling also their 7 children. She's a nurse. Her degree from the University of Delaware. But I read on and I said, she also spent time as a pediatric nurse at the Medical Center of Dallas. Well, I started out, you weren't here to tell everybody that that's where I came from Southwestern Medical School site at Dallas. And she wasn't there when I was there. She wasn't even there probably when I was there in the 60s. But I thought that was a lot of fun to find a tie there. And I was in the OB-GYN section. She's about pediatrics over there. So it's an honor to get to have another Texas person. So natural family planning, the healthy choice. So the ideal question is, what is NFP? It's learning about the language of the sexual power that has been given to us by observing, by recording, and by interpreting the bodily signs of human fertility. It's an awareness. It's the knowledge of a couple together for its fertility, and it's a meaning of the body's signs when it's infertility or fertile, and it's over 99% effectiveness.
There's several types of natural family planning. We teach the symptothermal method through the couple-to-couple lead. There's also...
Excuse me,
yes.
Could you speak into
yes.
the mic? I think
Sorry.
we're having a little trouble hearing.
Sorry. Better? Okay. Several types of natural family planning. Like I said, we teach the symptothermal method through the couple-to-couple lead. There's also the ovulation method, which most common is the Billings method or Creighton method, which rely principally on the observations and sensation of the woman's cervical mucus. There's also a temperature-only method, which just uses the temperature to determine whether you've ovulated or not. The symptothermal method combines both of those signs. uses the mucus sign and the temperature sign, which shows the rise in temperature that signals the end of the fertile period. It kind of cross-checks those two signs to give a really high effectiveness rate, like we said, of 99%.
So we're going to talk about some advantages of NFP. We have safe and healthy, highly effective. It helps the marginal fertility, better marriages, environmental sound, and how easy it is to learn and to use. We'll start with safe and healthy. It just seems like we're in this time of it's, go green. You can't get any greener than your own body. It's 100% natural. I mean, I've got all these people say, well, I like to eat organic food. I like to, their waters are, they do whatever it does. But then they take into this other thing that we'll talk about, controls and hormones. And I tell them, you can't get any natural in your own body. So there's no use of the birth control drugs we use. And so there's no risk to a woman's health. And it's in harmony with your fertility. Even it's who your design is, and it's also bringing awareness of your system, just in case when there is not something going right. If you're not treating it, you're finding out where the problems are.
This slide goes over the effectiveness of NFP. It basically, a lot of people think, yeah, that's great, but does it really work? Most people think no, especially when they see me teaching a class and I have 7 children. But it does work, definitely. The effectiveness rate, how they explain it is, effectiveness is the percentage that normally is derived from studies that have determined surprise pregnancy rates. And the surprise pregnancy rate is measured in terms of the number of couples out of 100 who become pregnant using a method for 1 year. So if there's a surprise pregnancy rate of 15%, that would mean 15 couples out of 100 would potentially conceive during 1 year using that particular type of birth control. So if there's a 99% effective rule, like NFP does, then that means that 99 couples out of 100 using natural family planning for that year would not conceive, okay, if they were trying not to conceive. Effectiveness is also measured 2 ways. There's the method effectiveness rate, which assumes that you're using the method perfectly. There's also the user effectiveness rate, which is the effectiveness of the method of family planning based on the actual practices of the couple using the method, and we all know that that's not the same thing. My husband actually did a study on this when he was at the University of Delaware. He was a nursing major too when he was here. And he was looking at natural family planning. We were engaged at the time. And he was trying to find out about this. And couldn't find any information. There's nothing about it. He was doing his intern or rotation at St. Francis Hospital and couldn't find a lot of information. All the information that he found in the little birth control packets, they all cite the user effectiveness rate of natural family planning. And generally it's the calendar rhythm method, which is not the same thing as what we teach, the thermal method. User effectiveness is the same. I mean, if you don't use the method correctly, you're not going to have a high effectiveness rate. Whether you're using natural family planning, whether you're using the birth control pill, if you don't take the pill, you're not 99% effective. So just to make that distinction here. There was a study, a German study, this was produced in 2007, that shows the effectiveness rate, the method effectiveness rate of natural family planning at 99.6%, with the user effectiveness at 98.2%, which still is not too bad, 98.2, but if you would have the 99.6, that's what we're going to go with. This slide shows the different effectiveness rates of all the different types of birth control. There's the sponge ranging at 80%, all the way up to the pill, the IUD, Norplant, and symptothermal method of natural family planning at 99%.
So how does it help, like marginal fertility? Well, a lot couples assume that they're almost going to be able to conceive. And there's actually a study that shows about 10 to 12% of couples do have a problem conceiving when they want. And I, for example, in one of those couples, we thought, before we got married, we were told, no, there's very less likely that you will conceive. You might as well go on the birth control to help you regulate in the whole 9 yards. And from my point of view, I decided, no, that wouldn't really do anything for me. So we took NFP, and it's just amazing what you learn that God has given you just by taking the temperature in the morning and just seeing what I mean, I don't have to go beyond. And that we were able to see, like, the nutrition that I was taking and the timing. I mean, it was just, and sure enough, that's why I have 4 beautiful children and 2 in heaven. And it was all because I was aware of who I am. And my husband, being the scientist, he enjoyed every little, dot and temperature and percentage and the whole thing. But it also made him see, wow, I mean, he already knew we were complicated women, but then, he liked to see it in paper and science, and then so it confirmed his, but it just, that's what it does, and it's like cost-free. I mean, you pay one time to take the class to get informed, but this you have to, I mean, we're going on, how many years have you gone on learning?
8 years.
You can't, I mean, can you imagine beyond, all the things you need, the doctor visits and all that, if you learn something like this. And it's the simple that CCL teaches, it's using not just, one part of it's using the 3 different types of your fertility to see where you're at, to kind of pinpoint, give you the good days, the happy days, and and also, again, it helps to uncover things that you didn't realize. One thing for sure that I've learned that, especially taking temperature, if you have very low temperatures, it's a big, almost a red flag for thyroid. And sometimes you can go into your doctor and say, I think I might have a thyroid problem, and they give you this testing. And usually it's like the best basic testing, but they don't realize that most basic testing of thyroid comes out negative. And then that's it, they leave it like that. So with something like that, I had to go and say, no, I want the most extended one, and sure enough, in my case, it did not come. But if I didn't know something as simple as, taking a little temperature in the morning every day, about what could have been or not been. And like we said, information is key. With knowing, the opportunity is there. So better marriages, again, as we were going on. I mean, you have to talk. I mean, like the pill, you just put it in your mouth, nobody knows, nobody talks. Here you have to talk to each other. You have to explain what you're going through. He gets to understand why you're so moody this time, or why you're not. I mean, it is what it is. And so it does promote the marriage bonding. And you're all talking about, NFP is not just preventing also. It's like, is it time to conceive another child into this, world? I mean, he's concerned about me, can I do it, So it's always talking, you have to always talk. So that's, again, it's fostering increased communication between each other. And what else can protect and love the nature of marriage? Okay, so we're going back to the environmental sound. NFP is green. It's all natural method of family. It does include the woman's body with powerful chemicals, and it does surgically destroy a healthy part of a woman's body. And there's no waste product going and polluting into the waters. And this is very interesting because this is how Ronnie was saying that you don't realize what you don't know until you're asked to talk more in depth, and just finding researches about what the environment, what it has been doing to polluting the water when you're taking contraception, especially with like fish. And they're finding, like there's a study in Canada that found that they were finding a lot of men fish. Female, yeah.